Saved is the one common thought shared by the people living in Sumi as large Edencom defense and construction fleets take up positions in the system. Declaring that the system shall be an impregnable fortress, Edencom Provost Marshal Kasia Valkanir has promised that under no circumstances will the Triglavian invasion forces be allowed to achieve victory against this Edencom stronghold. This is Alton Havery reporting for The Scope.
There it is, sir. It's like a hole in space.
Now, we're acquainted with the wormhole phenomenon, but this appears quite different. What do your sensors indicate?
Nothing, sir.
Nothing. Mr. Data, you must mean that it's empty of matter. There's always some energy form at work.
Sir, our sensors are showing this to be the absence of everything. It is a void without matter or energy of any kind.
Yet this hole has a form. Data has height, width.
Perhaps. Perhaps not, sir.
It's hardly a scientific observation, Commander.
Captain, the most elementary and valuable statement in science, the beginning of wisdom, is, I do not know. I do not know what that is, sir.
We match patterns that already exist within ourselves through conditioning. So a wonderful story that I believe is true is that when the Indians, the Native American Indians on the Caribbean islands saw Columbus's ships approaching, they couldn't see them at all because it was so unlike anything they had ever seen before. They couldn't see it.
When Columbus's armada landed in the Caribbean, none of the natives were able to see the ships, even though they existed on the horizon. The reason that they never saw the ships was because they had no knowledge in their brains or no experience that clipper ships existed. So the shaman starts to notice that there's ripples out in the ocean, but he sees no ship, but he starts to wonder what's causing the effect. So every day he goes out and looks and looks and looks, and after a period of time, he's able to see the ships. And once he sees the ships, he tells everybody else that ships exist out there because everybody trusted and believed in him. They saw them also.
Don't you get it yet, Tars? They're not beings. They're us. What I've been doing for Murph, they're doing for me. For all of us.
Cooper, people couldn't build this.
No, not yet. But one day. Not you and me, but a people. A civilization that's evolved past the 4 dimensions we know. What happens now?
I'm not very good at singing songs, but here's a try.
If you wish to make an apple pie from scratch, you must first invent the universe.
This is something altogether unexpected. Not only a declaration of our independence, but of the rights of all men. This is well said, sir. Very, very well said. The Christian king of Great Britain has waged cruel war against human nature itself. in the persons of a distant people who never offended him, captivating and carrying them into slavery in another hemisphere.
Yes, you lay the evils of slavery at the feet of the king, but you say nothing of slavery itself, sir. Now, surely, if the trade is outlawed but ownership is not, then those unfortunate Negroes still in servitude will become a more lucrative commodity.
Well, that's not what I intended, Dr. Franklin. Slavery is an abomination and must be loudly proclaimed as such, but I own that neither I nor any man has any immediate solution to the problem.
Oh, but 'tis no matter. The issue before us is independence and not emancipation.
No, Dr. Franklin, this document is
something our friends in the Congress will debate, but I would be very surprised if they will countenance an attack on slavery. No. We hold these truths to be sacred and undeniable, that all men are created equal, etc. Sacred and undeniable. Smacks of the pulpit.
Does it?
These truths are self-evident, are they not?
Perhaps.
Self-evident, then. Self-evident?
Self-evident.
Do not mistake me, sir. I share your sentiment.
Every single word was precisely chosen. I assure you of that, Dr. Franklin.
Yes, but yours will not be the only hand in this document. It cannot be. They will try to mangle it, and they may succeed.
There may be expressions which I would not have inserted if I had drawn it up, but I will defend every word of it.
Well, it's what I believe.
This is a marvelous invention, Mr. Jefferson.
Yes, I went through a number of variations. This is by far the most successful. Simplest is always the best. It's 2 seats, and the top one swivels on rollers made from the window sash pulleys.
Oh, most ingenious.
Please. Is that a copy of our Constitution?
Yes. You know this document?
Yes, I do.
I have many questions.
Well, that's a good thing. Hopefully, over the course of the week, we can...
For example, it says here, President shall be commander of Army, Navy, etc.
Yes.
Here, it says, Congress shall have power to declare war.
Yes.
Commander does not declare war?
Theoretically, Congress needs to.
Theoretically. So, your habit is to ignore document?
No. Well, occasionally.
Good morning. How you doing?
Excuse me.
Good morning. Toby, good to see you. Grab a sandwich and listen in. I think I'm managing to pick up a few phrases. It's not all that different from Polish, actually.
Still on a lunch break.
Oh, they love the roast beef.
We're giving them a 2-hour lunch after wasting the morning on a system of government that's never going to work for these people.
I wouldn't call it a waste.
These guys have to walk out of this building on Friday with a set of laws to take back home to Minsk.
Not a set of laws, a sense of the rule of law.
You're not planning on writing a constitution this week?
Are you familiar with Mayor versus State of Nebraska?
Nebraska passed a law making it illegal to teach anything other than English during World War I. Meyer wanted to teach German. Supreme Court said the law was unconstitutional.
Good. Now, where in the Constitution does it say you've got a right to teach German in school?
You're saying the document is irrelevant?
No. I'm saying the document is just the beginning. A constitutional democracy succeeds only if the Constitution reflects democratic values already alive with the citizenry.
Yes, but these Belarusians don't have those values.
Which is why our most important job is to instill those values in their leaders through discussion and debate.
You're talking about 8 guys on a sightseeing trip to Washington. You think you teach democratic values to these 8 guys, you're going to reverse 50 years of brutal dictatorship?
Mr. Helical was known as the only honest legislator in the government. Mr. Lepecki is the most respected judge in the country, and Mr. Zubikov, well, Mr. Zubikov is the editor-in-chief of Sovetskaya Belarusia. His articles help bring down the last dictator. How many guys do you think it takes?
What we'd like is if you could diagram on the light pad the orbital pattern that your planet takes through this system.
My pleasure.
Hey, John! They're coming! You hang in there, okay? I love you, John! I'm waiting for you! Don't give up, okay?
Well, tell them I'm coming too.
I think that's right.
I shall not confront planet as an enemy, but shall accept its mysteries as gifts to be cherished. Nor shall I crudely seek to peel the layers away like the skin from an onion. Instead, I shall gather them together as the tree gathers the breeze. The wind shall blow and I shall bend. The sky shall open and I shall drink my fill. Gaian Acolyte's Prayer.
Stephen, could you input that?
Already on it.
What's going on?
Jeg vet ikke. Kanskje morgen.
Vel. Bra. Skjøtt. Ja.
Hei. Jeg har mye å spise. For når han var ung, vant han om dette målet. Bare for når han var
Du har vært i Italia, hvor?
Nei, ikke der. Nei, ikke der. Selvfølgelig vant han. Ingen kunne tro en mann kan gi så mye.
Mina rødkrets.
Mina rotgat.
Jag vet inte. Kanske tomorrow.
Nu ska du höra. Så en herre går på klipp. Vill ha sheep i lunch och snake up to steal teeth of 12 horses.
Så kommer det bästa. Så kommer det bästa. Då han ville gå, ropte han till dem. Jag vet inte. Kanske vi kan find some geese. So then he says, do not foretell me wife, for I will get no supper when I come home tonight.
I don't sound like that.
Strahls holographic system online.
Just finished. Stand by for scan.
Ronit slept with her while we took the horses.
No hearts, both of you. She probably was some smoke-collared camp girl. Looked like that one's mother.
My mother.
On a momentous day that shall be honored for time everlasting.
Was a pure woman. From a noble family. And I, at least, know who my father is. You. Pig-eating son of a whore.
Come on.
Come on. Where did you learn our language? I listened.
Bring me those sacks. Hey. Mind yourself there, Reed.
Be quiet.
Only an Arab would bring...
A dog to war?
I heard this the first time.
I take it my calculations help explain the perturbations you've been seeing in the rotation pattern of your binary star, but have been unable to explain until this moment.
It's ironic, isn't it? I had every window in the palace blocked off because I was afraid that if I came around a corner and saw this unprepared, that I would break down and cry. And yet I spend all of my time here, in this room, looking at it. In my life, I had 4 wives. I cared for them all deeply. But I loved Centauri Prime. Loved every street, every tower, every inch of our world. Everything I did for her. And look what we have done to her. But there is hope. But it will be hard. It will be so very hard. Well, where was I? Yes. humans, I think, knew they were doomed. But where another race would surrender to despair, the humans fought back with even greater strength. They made the Minbari fight for every inch of space. In my life, I have never seen anything like it. They would weep, they would pray, they would say goodbye to their loved ones, and then throw themselves, without fear or hesitation, at the very face of death itself, never surrendering. No one who saw them fighting against the inevitable could help but be moved to tears by their courage, their stubborn nobility. When they ran out of ships, they used guns. When they ran out of guns, they used knives and sticks and bare hands. They were magnificent. I only hope that when it is my time, I may die with half as much dignity as I saw in their eyes at the end. They did this for 2 years. They never ran out of courage. But in the end, they ran out of time.
How could you know this? How could you...
Every Capaxian knows this. Just as every child on Earth knows that your planet revolves around your sun. It's common knowledge, isn't it?